Hey guys, this is the RIOT Podcast. It's a special time when we all come together and whine about the minutia of day-to-day life.
Whining about the important things that matter.
The important things that matter.
Actually, in this, we've got a RIOT food fight.
We do.
So we are taste testing items from Peru, including Inca Kola, which you can watch when you're done with the podcast. If you follow us at RadioU RIOT on Facebook, you can actually watch us do the RIOT food fight, or at our RadioU RIOT YouTube channel. Subscribe and then click the bell or sign up to get notified. So next time we do a live event or a band's in with us, you can watch too.
Mm-hmm. So wouldn't you like to see what we look like? You'd be like, man, they're better looking than I thought.
At our finest moment.
Well, I DJ'd a party last week.
Yeah.
And I walked in and this girl was like, oh no, I don't want to meet you.
Why?
And I was like, my response was, good, I don't want to meet you either. And she was like, I don't like knowing what the people I listen to look like.
Because we're just human beings, apparently.
And I just told her, I was like, well, get ready to be disappointed. Because
Great.
Here I am.
No, it is weird. A lot of times if someone meets us and then they can hear us, I catch them closing their eyes every so often because they just want to hear. But it's weird if we're like literally right in front of them.
It's very hard to make the connection between the voice and the face.
And an
because
actual
the face
person
never fits the voice.
No.
It just doesn't. So, all right, other things in the podcast. Bitcoin billionaires, Logitech pins, back to school surgery. Bigger discounts, McDonald's abroad, bat in the toilet.
Thank you to one of our listeners for contributing for that.
Yeah. So you guys enjoy today's podcast. Nikki and I are just going to be sitting in this room drinking coffee until tomorrow.
So tomorrow's podcast should feature, I think we're going to try to do one more RIOT food fight for the week. And that will be the Fruit Loop donuts from Hardee's Carl's Jr.
Nick got them, brought them in, and we don't have one locally, so they're in the freezer right now.
They're right there. We'll have to set them out to warm them up tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then Mike Main should also be joining us, too. So that's tomorrow's podcast.
So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe again, or tell your friends, or something. Bye.
Awful, terrible, horrible, pathetic. Someone grab me a thesaurus. I'm gonna need more words to describe how bad these guys are. It's the worst of the RIOT on Radio U.
Oh, it's real, Nikki. It's real.
It's real, meaning?
That the time that I have been invested in auction sites. And Eric has found basically like a clearance liquidation auction thing. And bro, he's way into it.
He is.
I saw him with a spreadsheet yesterday.
He had it all figured out.
He definitely did, which, you know what? Good for him.
He's organized with it. I wish I would see this organization in other areas.
Sure.
But that's fine. At least he's starting with something.
So yesterday, I don't want to say what it is, because if I do eventually get one, it will be a Christmas present for someone. But I've been bidding on what is a large ticket item, but is shockingly affordable if, in these auctions.
Yeah.
And so I put a bid in yesterday, which I thought was a pretty high bid, and I ended up losing out literally in the last minute. It's like old days of eBay kind of thing. I looked, and I was watching it, and in those final seconds, someone managed to outbid me.
What was the term? Sniped it?
Sniped it, yeah.
Yeah, sniped it.
So that is still a thing in certain places, but, man, the one... I'll just say,
you could have won the first one. That is so disappointing.
Yeah, I didn't bid correctly on the first item that I was trying, and I thought I had, and then after a while I was like, I don't think it's working. I don't know, and no, I didn't. But this one I got the bid correct.
Yeah.
But somebody came in and ended up, there was a little bidding war that must have happened in that last minute because they outbid me by $11, which is, I know, it's not very much.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what happens in those final moments.
You just don't know.
Yeah, people are bidding and you lose out.
So this online auction stuff, it's a thing. We never knew about it. And so basically, they buy from companies and... it's
like Amazon, Home Depot, Lowe's.
A lot of that stuff. And then you can go pick it up from this warehouse, but you're buying it online. And it's quite funny. Just because you're like, wait, why is this so cheap? But normally they're just returned or unopened items.
Right.
And they just don't sell them again.
And it's like, as Nikki said, return unopened, or like they bought so many and they're desperate to get rid of them.
There are just a ton of them left. So nothing like really wrong with them. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Like, why is this $2,000 item like $20?
Like, why is this? And that's the weird thing is, like, they do end up selling for between like $50 and $100. Like it is weirdly discounted, but it's also weirdly specific.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's not like it's not in your mind right now. You're like, oh, I'd probably pick up a car for $5.
I know, it's just very odd.
It's weird stuff.
It's online auctions, so,
Yeah, so
we're in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm registered now. I have a bidder number.
Oh, you do?
I
Okay,
do.
good.
Yeah, and I've lost twice now. I've got no wins under my belt.
You know, you're getting into the match.
But
so.
Eric won some stuff yesterday.
He won one thing yesterday.
I'm looking forward to hearing his experience about the pickup.
Yes, because that's our first ever. So he gets some sort of invoice today. You go pick up the item. And this item was about $300 and we got it for $80, but it's still a very highly in demand item.
Right.
And I think you're supposed to pay with cash, but if you pay with credit card, you get a little extra charge.
Right.
So we'll see what it is.
Because, Nikki, they have to pay a processing fee.
Right. So you better believe that's cash. It feels cash all the way. Certain places like that, we're like, is this a tax thing? It's like, yeah, we're just paying by cash.
They're like, yeah, would you mind paying cash so we don't have to, tell anybody what happened here
so
today?
So we don't have to claim this for the taxes. But we'll see how it goes.
All right. I'm really curious to hear Eric's story, and I'm not going to bid on anything right now, but
you're going to keep looking for the possible Christmas item.
I am. I'm going to kind of keep my eye open and see if I can get just the right one.
The Riot has a problem with authority.
It's a little rule. Maybe you're not familiar with it. Nobody tells me what to do ever.
Now, I'm not going to say which one of us it is, but somebody in the Riot is a designated survivor.
A survivor of what?
That means that one of us, is always under heavy guard and will be secluded when the other one is out and about.
So you mean like we shouldn't always be together in case something were to happen, the riot would end? It's like the president-vice president thing.
It totally is. And that was the premise of a movie that Kiefer was in. Well, not a movie, a TV show.
Sure.
Kiefer Sutherland did 2 seasons of a show called Designated Survivor on ABC. And I remember a lot of people saying to me like, dude, it's like Jack Bauer's president now.
You're going to love it. You got to watch it.
Dude, you don't... Dude. I recorded it and had... sometimes in life you have really good intentions. Like, you mean well.
Yeah, but you never watched it?
You never quite got to it. I never watched it. So, and apparently, I don't know, not enough people did because ABC canceled it after their second season. But you know how it is, Nikki.
Can't let something just go away, can you?
Can't just get canceled.
Gosh, that's
someone's got to pick it up.
Realistic. You know we're going to grow up, and it's going to be very difficult to understand when there is closure. And then you're going to be so upset when something does go away because you feel like someone's going to bring it back.
Like, no, it's not really over.
This is not healthy. We have to have closure.
So you're saying that the canceling of Designated Survivor...
It's going to ruin our generation.
It's some sort of a death metaphor so that, when a pet or a friend or a family member...
say my dog dies and I feel like, no, Hulu will bring it back. It's fine. It's very weird.
Oh, my gosh. Like...
I just can't say goodbye to anything.
Oh, my gosh.
And then we're going to grow up like this.
I can't say...
Shows can't ever end. Bands can't ever just break up. It's just very hard.
Mommy, do you think Netflix will bring Scruffy back?
You never know. You never know. Is it going to be a GoFundMe? I don't know.
My mind...
Blown? Yeah, I know.
Completely blown by this conversation.
We will have repercussions of this down the road.
Well, the emotional repercussions are starting right now.
They are.
This very conversation precipitated by the circumstances in which we find ourselves.
Why can't my show, my cat come back? We just can't understand these things.
Everything I love comes back.
So why can't it?
So, you know what? And here we go. This is Pet Sematary, the TV series.
See?
All right. Like, it's okay. Do you want them to come back? They can, but they never come back the same. The budget feels a little different.
Something's different.
All of a sudden they can give you as much language and, the nakedness as you've been looking for. They're not the same as they were when they went away.
I'm just worried.
But I'm glad they're back.
No, you're happy, but you're worried.
But the kernel of truth in all of this is that Netflix is bringing Designated Survivor back for a 3rd season.
With Kiefer?
Oh, yeah. See,
I feel like this is what my can't believe things. This is just how it is. I bet you they have a deal with Kiefer for some other, like a set of work. And then that involves, oh, hey, will you also bring my show back for a 3rd season?
It could be. I don't know.
If not, why wouldn't you just let it go?
Because, Nikki, there is a rabid designated survivor fan base out there that can't face the reality that when designated survivor went to the farm to run and play, it really needed city life.
I don't even know if I've ever remembered hearing that name of that show. So
really?
I don't think so.
I just remember some of my friends that like 24 talking about it, but I
Not enough to watch it on ABC.
I lost track of it. Yeah, but now, on Netflix.
It's good to go.
I don't know.
Did they say when it'll come back?
It's coming to seasons 1 and 2 will be on Netflix this fall, and the new season will go into production later this year with a 2019 launch date in mind.
And again, I feel like then right after will be a Kiefer Adam Sandler movie or something.
Where Kiefer plays like
it's a deal.
There's going to be, I feel one of two plot lines here. Either Kiefer is the president, and Adam Sandler is
David Spade.
And they're the Secret Service agents that are protecting him, one. Or two, it's a buddy cop movie in which Kiefer is the grizzled older cop and Adam Sandler is the
new one,
He's the new rookie or something.
I just see these things coming.
No problem. We got it.
My favorite part of the worst of the riot, when they shut up and the music starts. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
So Microsoft, in a move that surprised everybody yesterday, they went ahead and announced and made available for order the Xbox Adaptive Controller. This is a very cool thing that Microsoft has done where they were just like, look, we've come up with this controller for people with disabilities. And if you look at it, it is basically, it's a kind of a large rectangle. It's got a D-pad on it. It's got a couple of buttons. Then it has two large round surfaces, basically, where you're able to program what you want, like which region of whatever you want. You can use them as analog sticks. There are just these different things that you're able to do with this thing, and I think you can also use it in concert with a regular controller. And so the idea was they sat down with people that have disabilities that are wanting to play games and tried to figure out what can we create that would be something that would be usable by the largest amount of people, but would also be accessible and something you could mass produce and sell at a reasonable price. And so it originally was going to ship on September 30th, but it looks like you could even go into, like on GameStop. At GameStop, you can order it online. At Microsoft stores, if you have an actual physical Microsoft location in your hometown there,
you can get it there.
You can actually go in and pick them up. They have them now. And I believe they're $100. Yeah. So it's very cool. And the other thing that's interesting, I was listening to the guy, not Major Nelson, but the guy who's the head of the Xbox division. He was talking about the fact that this has been a project for them that they've considered a passion project. Now, I realize that so that could just be PR speak,
sure,
whatever. But from what I understand, they basically have done this in such a way that they're making very little money on it. So it's like with a controller, that $60 controller, how they a lot of times sell them for $40. That's because they got a big margin.
Yeah, there's a big markup of it.
But as I understand it, these controllers, they don't have a large margin on them. So they're literally trying to get them out to as many people as possible.
Well, that's a nice gesture then, I think so. Did you read the other controller news, though? Are you a big PUBG?
No.
Yeah.
I certainly follow it, but I don't play it.
But the other controller news yesterday was for PlayerUnknown's Battleground for Xbox One in Australia. In New Zealand, there's I think about 10 of them. They're doing a limited edition grease-proof Xbox controller, so I could continue to eat my fried chicken. Yeah, so like the fried chicken, so you can eat and it would not bother your controller, which also has like a coating to protect against scratching and water. So those are special controllers that you can try to win in Australia and I think New Zealand too.
So that way, this is for people that are more in the middle disability category, like you're unable to control your chicken impulse while you're playing games.
When you play that, when you win a match, it's winner, winner, chicken dinner. And so then it's kind of like a play on that.
Okay.
So that is something if you're in those areas, 10 being made. So that'll be on the Xbox Facebook page for Australia and New Zealand to try to win those.
Well, far be it from me to interfere with anybody that wants to be able to eat fried food and play games at the same time.
So then that way it's not like, well, I guess the controller then isn't so greasy. It doesn't bother the controller.
Some people, I've talked to people that think like using someone else's controller is really gross.
You think so? Oh, for like germs and stuff?
Yeah, where it's just like, they put their hands all over. I don't give it a lot of thought, but I will tell you, when I get a controller that's sticky, that's
that too much.
That's where I'm just like, you know what, guys? Maybe next time I'll just bring my own controller because I don't know why it's sticky. I don't want to know why it's sticky. I just don't want to touch it anymore.
The Riot sees gas station hot dogs as part of a balanced breakfast.
Is that bad?
Well, not good.
It's the Riot on
RadioU.
Man, you guys send us the weirdest stuff in the morning sometimes.
It's almost like I think you're excited about sending it to us.
I'm going to say hi to Aaron. I don't want to say where he's from because he says that he hasn't told anybody else yet.
Anyone else in the household?
Yeah, so I'm going to let him break it to them on his own. But he went to the bathroom this morning, looked down in the toilet, and saw something brown floating in there.
And not like...
And you're like, ew, gross, dude! No. That's what he thought at first. He was like, someone didn't. He's like, wait a minute, it's moving. Why is it moving? Oh my gosh!
It's a bat. A little bat.
It's a live
bat drinking water in the toilet. How does it get in the toilet?
Don't know.
I think it made it seem like the toilet seat was down. Does he just like lift it up and then get in the toilet?
Yeah, but if the seat is down, like he needs to, you guys got to start putting the lid down.
Well, no, I mean the lid. I mean, like, is the whole thing down?
We don't know. And I think that's one of the most important questions here. Was the lid down? Because if the lid was down, either that bat is super strong.
And that's something else to worry about.
It flew in through a hole in the pipe. And that's I don't know if that's more or less terrifying.
This is a two-tier problem. How did it get in the house? And then from there, how did it find its way into the toilet? And is this always happening?
As far as the bat's concerned, he went into a cave where he found a spring. He was like, this is awesome.
I love this place. It's
perfect.
Nice. It's warmer.
Just hanging out.
There's some light and dark areas if I need to. And there's water bowl for me.
Man, thanks, guys, for putting this out for me. It's great to be here. What are you doing? Stop touching me.
I wouldn't know what to do. I would just have to tell myself, don't flush it down. Like, don't do that. Don't panic. But how do you get it out?
Oh, my gosh, Aaron. He says, he just texted. He says, the lid was up. My dogs lifted
it up.
Because
they drink out of it?
So now you have three problems.
Dude, Aaron, it's a busy place, your toilet. That's funny.
Dude. The dogs.
It's like, get in line, bat.
Yeah. Dog's just like, oh, look, there's snacks in the water bowl today.
I love our owner. They're so nice.
He said he picked it up with a towel.
And took it outside.
Mm-hmm.
Just again, how did the bat get in the house?
Put the bat under a tree and it started climbing as he backed away. It must have flown in, right?
Now, I think we should also say, who knows? Bats are just misunderstood creatures.
No,
I'm sure
not.
they're just fine.
They're bloodsuckers.
No, they're not.
They're rabies carriers.
Okay, now that is
true.
A bit much.
Is it?
I think it's a bit much.
Is it?
Are we going by the movies? What we see on the movie?
Well, I'll tell you what, Nikki.
That's a stigma attached to the bat.
You're saying, hey, why don't we bring a bat in here and just let one bite you and we'll roll the dice?
I saw that really cute viral video where it was eating a grape and the bat looked totally cute.
Okay.
So, and I saw that, and there's one where the bat is yawning, and that also is very cute. So maybe it's misunderstood. We shouldn't freak out if there's a bat in the toilet.
Okay, now I have to turn that around, and I have to say this. What if you're watching the bat, yawn and all that stuff? What if you're misunderstanding the bat? What if in reality it is a vicious, terrible animal and you're like, oh, I'm misunderstanding it, and you're the one that's misunderstanding?
Could be. Now, Aaron said that only 1% carry rabies. So this little baby bat in the toilet that he found could have just been a cutie.
You know what, Aaron? He's texting us all these details. He says only 1% carry rabies. Why do you know that? Did you Google it before he picked it up?
He had time to learn about it before he got it out.
He said, and I quote, "Trust me, I freaked out." Okay?
I bet.
And then different Aaron, this one with an E instead of an A, says bat guano can carry a lot of dangerous diseases. Yeah.
Well, it's pooping in the toilet. I mean, what do you expect?
All right.
This thing's toilet trained. It's in the toilet.
Point to Nikki on that
All
one.
right, so don't be
Point to
complaining
Nikki.
about it. It's going where it needs to go.
I mean, you have to give him credit for,
Trying.
trying to use the indoor plumbing.
Yes, I'm quite impressed.
So, I don't know. I just know that I don't ever want to experience that.
You don't
I feel
want
like
a bat?
I feel like the moment that I find a wild animal in my bathroom is the moment that I can't live there anymore.
It's like, why
Because
are you moving, sir?
a sacred trust has been broken.
You could be learning jujitsu right now, or how to drive a race car, or do anything productive with your life, but no. You're listening to the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Nikki, it's an initiative that the people of McDonald's have started up. It's an initiative where they want to bring people together. They're calling it Flavors from Abroad. And that's one word, not two.
So they are offering, I think this is Miami locations. There's about 50 McDonald's throughout Miami, Florida, where you can try some items that would traditionally be international McDonald's items, but here in the United States.
So one of the things that they're getting that I'm very interested in is a Stroopwafel McFlurry.
A Stroopwafel, I actually was just watching a show about it.
About Stroopwafels?
Yeah, it had something in that. It's very popular in like the Netherlands, but it used to be kind of like the cheap bakery item where they would just take a bunch of things, put it together, make a waffle, and then caramel in between it.
Delicious.
We've had Stroopwafel,
But that was just like in a bag.
and I'm saying they're not quite as delicious as we thought they would be.
It's funny.
But
I'm
I
like,
don't know.
Nikki, those are just the ones that come in a bag. Like McDonald's is back there making fresh
I don't know.
Stroopwafels.
They might come from the bag, but then they became very popular, and now it's a staple for a lot of areas. So you can get the McFlurry with the Stroopwafel in it.
When's the last time you had a McFlurry?
McFlurry? Maybe 3-4 years. Kind of right around that time you told a story about how dirty the McDonald's ice cream machines are, and they're never working, and they're never right, and they're filthy.
Did you eat one and then we talked about it?
No.
Or did we talk about it and then you were like, well, I have to go eat that for myself?
No. I think that was right before, and then I was like, I don't think I want the ice cream anymore from McDonald's.
Well, couldn't begin to tell you when was the last time that I had a McFlurry. It's
been a while.
A bajillion years, probably. I have no idea.
So the McDonald's global items also in the Miami area. You should be able to find the barbecue McShaker fries, which come from Malaysia.
That sounds good.
A McSpicy chicken sandwich from Hong Kong.
Okay.
The Grand McStream bacon burger, which has a Gouda and a special McBacon sauce.
Stop.
And that's from Spain.
McExtreme.
McExtreme bacon burger.
What are we doing?
So some of these global items have been also...
love Gouda, though.
Yeah, McDonald's in Chicago, which is their headquarters for them. They've been serving some of the global items there, but this is the Flavors from Abroad menu, which started yesterday, and that's 50 locations in Miami, and that's just a limited time.
I would be up for trying some of that. Like a Gouda and bacon burger, yeah, I would totally eat that. A McSpicy chicken, yeah, sure. Barbecue McShaker fries, yes.
I guess, are you saying you'd try everything then?
I guess I would. If those are the 4 items on the menu when you count the McFlurry, sure.
He's in for it. So then also the Stroopwafel McFlurry.
I'm hungry.
Well, we have a Riot food fight in a few.
Wow, look at that.
Look, you got food.
That's wonderful.
We'll be taste testing items that one of our friends brought back from Peru.
So here's the question that I do have to ask you before we get into it. The soda, do you want to drink that warm?
Oh, no, let's make it cold.
Do you want to go get some?
We'll
you want me to get some
ice?
ice?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure that we're ready for that.
We got to start chilling it now.
Yeah. Well, it's got 5 minutes to cool down.
Okay, maybe stick it in the freezer.
It's too late.
We should have thought of this earlier.
We should have.
Food fights, band interviews, Twitter fights. How else would you want to start your morning?
I feel traumatized, bruh. And now I'm tweeting about you, bruh. And now you're trending, bruh. And now your life is ruined, bruh. And now you're fired, bruh.
It's The Riot on Radio U.
Food fight.
Well, we got to say thanks to Olivia for hooking us up with snacks from Peru. Peru.
Thank you so much for bringing those back for us to try. A International Riot Food Fight Peru edition.
So I have here, starting off Doritos, Sabor a Queso Atrevido.
Quick, someone translate.
Well, I did translate it in Google Translate, and it says daring cheese taste.
Whoa.
So
is it spicy cheese or
they,
just cheese Doritos?
I don't actually know. Let me get a whiff here.
Because I think it looks more just like a cheese Dorito.
It looks like a straight up regular Dorito.
It looks like a daring cheese Dorito.
So Peruvian Dorito. It definitely looks different than an American Dorito.
Yeah, it smells good though.
It's probably like a real chip.
Actually, the chip feels heavier, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like a thicker chip.
It's like a real
and
corn
the cheese
chip.
feels, believe it or not, lighter. So that's weird.
You know what? The other thing, too, that's worth noticing
They're good,
is
though.
that these bags don't have air in them. Like,
yeah, they don't.
They're just actual.
Now, tell me if this is how Doritos are here. This says Frito-Lay. Doesn't the base of it taste really like a Frito? The Fritos?
Well, they're both corn chips.
Yeah, but it really tastes like it. It really tastes like
These Doritos,
a corn chip.
to me,
They're good, though.
they taste like what a generic Dorito tastes like at the store.
Yeah, they're less flavor than... Well, let's just go and say
It's
it.
good,
I
though.
feel like ours here is probably what counts as more processed. Maybe.
For-
more
I mean,
cheese.
I don't have any doubt about that.
Yeah, for
at
like
all.
our American market. But
All right.
good. It's just Doritos, cheese Doritos.
I would totally buy a bag of Doritos that tastes like that.
Cheese
This is
Doritos
like-
from Peru.
This is their Piqueo snacks. You've got Lay's chips, Doritos, cheese trees, and Tocino Sabora Tocinos.
Nice. If you guys want to watch, by the way, our Riot Food Fight, hop over to Radio U or Radio U Riot on our Facebook page, and you can check us out here in the studio.
Oh, that's
Is it a mix like a
That's got to
Chex?
be a pork rind, right?
Is it like a Chex mix?
Yeah, but no checks.
No Chex? Oh, yeah, they have potato chips in here. That's
Yeah.
weird. It's a
Yeah.
very weird mix. It's like a cheesy doodle thing and a potato chip and a Dorito.
Yeah,
Well,
that's all right.
good. I mean, they're fine. It's just
Sarah-
a slightly different taste than ours.
Sarah's watching us on Facebook. She says everything there is smaller proportions and always way healthier.
Yeah, no, it is true. These feel healthier than what we would have.
They feel like actual food.
Was
Which,
that
you know-
all that was in here? Was that all?
Oh, yeah, I took 2 massive handfuls. That's
Boy,
what.
the size, the portion size is way different.
All right, do you want to try a Choco Donut?
Sure.
Choco Donut Crunch, it says here.
So these
here,
are
check these
Riot
out.
Food Fight items from Peru, including Inca Kola, which seems to be what everybody wants us to try the most. Dan texted us. He said he loves Inca Kola.
All right, so here you go,
You
Nikki,
can find it in the United States. So this isn't a candy bar. It's a little donut.
Well, I mean, it's got these little white
Sprinkles
things.
on it.
I'm just going all in.
Make the whole donut. Mm-hmm. Well, how does that taste?
Pretty good.
I still have cheese in my teeth from the chips. That's a hard one, but you know, it's just it's
It
good, but their flavors are not as intense
Yeah.
as what you would find here.
Which is probably better for us.
Probably so.
That's
it is apparent, though.
It does have that, okay, if you ever have, like...
It's generic tasting to us here.
Right.
Which is usually the not as intense flavors.
Okay. Well, I just made a mess with that.
What's the last? Or we still have Inca Kola, but what's
Yeah.
is this the last food
This
item?
is the Caninazo.
Okay. It's like
I'd
a
love
chocolate.
to tell you what's in it, but
It looks
I
like
am-
caramel.
Sure it is.
You want to go with that?
I'm just going to eat it.
I'm just going to bite off of it.
Okay, go ahead.
It's like a Rice Krispie thing with a chocolate filling.
Oh, it's very sweet, though, once you get into it.
I'm not as into that flavor. I don't know. At first, it felt like there was raspberry in it, but it has a bit like a fruit flavor to me, but I'm not crazy about that one.
You know what it reminds me of? I know it's been like 5 years ago, but remember we had all that candy from the UK?
Yeah.
It had a real different like base flavor, and it's like what their chocolate tasted like.
Different.
That's what this is. It's got a real different flavor to it. All right,
I'm going to say no on that one, but the little donut thing before was not bad.
well, I got more of those if you need them.
That
Don't
was
you
pretty
worry.
good. So Inca Kola is like the main drink you would say in Peru. It is from Coca-Cola.
Yeah, they don't even have water there. They just have this.
You just drink Inca Kola.
This is all they have.
But it is available, and a lot of our listeners have texted in and said it is available around the United States. It's just different pockets that you can find it at different stores.
Nikki, I love this. Annie just on Facebook, she says, "Good morning. I love when Nikki says it's fine."
Is it? It's fine.
That's
good.
actually Nikki's version of.
Well, it's just not amazing, but it's not too bad. So Inca Kola smells so good.
I think it smells like gum.
Yeah, it does. Like a bubble gum.
Yeah,
the pink one.
It smells like bubble gum.
But it smells good. We put it on ice.
All right, here we go. I'm pouring mine in. Yeah, so it looks like urine and smells like gum. Perfect.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything to say that it's very different.
What an odd flavor that is.
It is like bubble gum, but it's yellow, so you don't think like the pink bubble gum that we have. It's like what is it, bubble yum?
Yeah.
That stuff.
I don't know.
Swish it around. Get it in your teeth. You really want the sugar everywhere. Get it everywhere. It's a taste. It's different.
There is a fruit flavor there. Mm-hmm. It's there, but it's taking me a while to find it.
I guess it's just something we're not used to having as our main beverage. Like here, you usually have like Coke or Pepsi. It's that style of cola, but this is the main style of cola. Yay, nay?
I do like it, but it's okay. There's like my thoughts would be that there is a fruit flavor there, but you have to really taste for it. And then there is also it tastes a lot more like sparkling water. Mm-hmm. Like it has that, sparkling water has, I don't know if the word's bitter, but it has a real particular
an aftertaste with it.
Yeah, it has that kind of an aftertaste to it where there's a sparkling water-ish, and it smells like gum, guys. Like it just straight up smells like bubble gum.
So that's Inca Kola, our Riot food fight from Peru. I think overall the Peru stuff is really good, but it feels less portion sizes and not as intense flavors as the chips or the chocolate here in the United States.
All right, Nikki. John says, I've always thought Inca tastes like cream soda dum-dum lollipops.
Yes, that's a good one. Very good way.
John, that is not bad. That's good. That's a pretty good description right there. Let's give this to John again. He says, I always thought Inca tastes like cream soda dum-dum lollipops.
So you put all the suckers in the soda and just let it sit for a while, you get that flavor.
Almost like if you put some suckers in the sparkling water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, good job. Thank you, Olivia, for bringing those back from Peru.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're now going to go have some water.
And some coffee.
just something to switch it all down.
Sure, the Riot could start eating healthy, or they could continue living happy, enjoyable lives. The Riot on Radio U.
So my birthday is coming up, which has got me looking on websites for stuff that I could either A, buy with birthday cash, or B, people will be like...
Ask for?
Yeah, like family members, like, I don't want to give you a gift card. I want to get you something. And so I was looking at some stuff, which has me on ThinkGeek. And here's what I've started to realize. I don't know what has done it to me. I don't know if it's the internet. I don't know if it's probably mostly the internet. But when I look at stuff... Basically, if whatever you're selling isn't at least 50% off, I don't even want it.
So they could just tell you, though. Like, it could just be a lie.
Nah, it's got to be cheap. I got to know.
No, but, I mean, you wouldn't know if an item. They'll just put a slash through it and say, hey, this is 50% off, and you'll believe it.
Well, see, it's just one of those things where I feel like at first discounts were something that this is nice. It's something I do on the weekends. And then pretty soon you're like... I need more discounts just to feel alive.
You know why?
And pretty soon you just want to feel anything at all.
You know why, though?
Why?
You're an extreme couponer.
I know! I can't take it. You're like, this is on sale for $8. And I'm like, call me when it's $4.
Someone needs a code in order for it to count.
What, you think I'm going to pay for shipping? I don't think so. You're going to have to do better than that.
So you're different now. You have to have that. You crave that deal.
I can't take it. So, like, here's a coffee mug. And they're like, regularly $25, now only $20. And I'm like, $20? That's not a deal. That is just us getting warmed up.
So no on that. All right.
You just come back to me when your idea of the discount is the price. All right. You knocked $5 off. call me back when it's $5.
So I see what you're going for now. That's your deal.
That's what I'm interested in. And I'm not even screwing around. Like I can't pay retail. I can't pay anything. I'm like,
no, wait,
look.
I thought you gave away some of your coffee cups. Are you looking at more coffee cups now?
No, there was just one here that I thought was kind of fun.
Okay.
Because
not for that price. That's a lot.
Well, that was a tumbler. Here's an actual coffee mug for $7.99. It's an I love you, I know coffee mug. It's nice. It's nice.
Well, coming up, Obi's birthday, September 21st.
Yeah, you're all lining up to give me something, I'm sure.
Your gift came in the other day. I've got your gifts already.
No, I don't want anything. I wanted a gift card from you. I told you.
Well, you're getting 2 items. You get 2 items, and you will be happy with it.
You shut your mouth and... Eric got you this box of tile from the auction site.
And you will like it.
And that is nice tile. Look at the retail price on that.
You'd be grateful.
He got those for $2. That would have been $35 in the store.
No, we got you insulation.
Starting your day with the worst of the riot is a great idea because it's guaranteed to get better from here. It's the Riot on Radio U.
You know, Nikki and I, we like to take some time from time to time and see what's new in the romance novel world. And you think I'm kidding, but okay,
not to read, but just to look at the titles and the cover art is usually something.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what got us started on it. It was an article that somebody wrote. And so there is, man, on Amazon, there are some of the craziest romance novels you have ever heard of in your life. Like about man bears, women who love men who transform into bears. I think that might have been what got us started. Yeah,
honestly, and I think it was like here's the forbidden beach reads. Like that sort of article.
So here's an article that are all about, it's a new round of like Amazon romance novels.
Yeah.
And by Amazon, we don't mean like the
Amazon
Amazonians.
Basics.
These are like cheap Kindle whatever books, but they're all about Bitcoin billionaires.
Oh, no. Hey, you saw Bitcoin. Don't forget, you got to look that up.
I do. Since I got my new phone,
Are you
a
Bitcoin billionaire yet? Coming soon to the next romance novel. You're not a billionaire yet?
I'm not yet.
You still need some time?
I need to. I actually have to get registered with this phone to look at my Bitcoin account.
Too much then.
Yeah, it's not going to work out.
All right, so the new romance novel is a Bitcoin billionaire.
It's true.
Who is tech savvy. A billionaire, a new billionaire. That's
billionaire.
New money.
Yeah.
New Bitcoin money. Mm-hmm. And yeah, probably more to the story. I don't know.
Well, let's see if there are any of these that I can give you the title for. Oh, this one's just called Jack, a Bitcoin billionaire novel.
I don't want to hear you reading these.
Bitcoin billionaire's babysitter. Oh, can't read that one out loud.
The one person's probably like, make it all bees.
You know what's even funnier is we're all laughing, and they're probably laughing all the way to the Bitcoin bank.
I wonder how well this does for them.
Oh, my gosh. I love it. So
kind of like how, what was the one movie with the sparkly person, Twilight, that was like, the vampire thing. And then here was the vampire novels. And then here's this and there's that, zombie novels, all that stuff.
Have you ever just been dying to be romanced by a Bitcoin billionaire?
Then the Amazon publishing world has quite a lot to choose from.
I'll just tell you they're out there.
Now you're messing up all your suggestions. Amazon's going to be so confused.
No. I didn't click on any of them.
Okay.
I'm just reading an article about them. And so I didn't click any of the links.
Amazon will still know.
You know what? You're right. Okay. You know how sometimes people make jokes, but they're like not really kidding? No, guys, I really don't want. I for real am not interested in a Bitcoin billionaire romance novel.
Well, you got to be specific sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
And with your birthday coming up, someone could have already put some in the cart. Now they got to change things.
Hey, we're reading between the lines. We know what you're really saying. Nope.
No, that is a no.
No.
That's a no.
I'm just laughing at them. That's not a secret yearning for Bitcoin billionaire novels.
We thought about selling the worst of the riot, but let's be honest, no one is buying this stuff. Get it for free on the RadioU app.
Nikki, I have to ask you a quasi-personal question.
Ask away.
Okay.
What's personal between us and all the people listening?
Well,
we're more than welcome to answer.
Guys, don't tell anybody what Nikki and I are talking about, okay? This is just
between us, so just hang on.
Between me and Nikki, so whatever. Nikki, do you think it would be inappropriate for me to start calling friends?
Yeah.
First off, I know you're like, yes, because you don't call people, you text them.
Well,
right?
that's
okay.
Mistake number one, but I get what you're meaning. Contact friends.
Get in touch with friends and start asking them for their cable login so that I can watch the Big Ten Network on Saturday?
No, it's not weird depending on the friendship level.
Okay.
So,
Nikki, I got a lot of casual friends.
But you're looking for someone closer.
I don't have a lot of, like, good friends.
You want my mom's? You want my mom's login?
Really?
Yeah, you can have hers. Because she doesn't remember it.
Don't you use it?
Well, no, like, I don't watch anything really there, but she doesn't remember her login. I've just always logged her in. But
I only need it for 3 hours.
I know. You could totally watch the game.
3 hours on a Saturday and I'm done.
If not, remember, you could do the YouTube TV thing, sign up to try
about
it.
That, but like,
and then cancel it if you don't want it. Because I think it's there, or Sling TV, even though you already had that. Or
I don't think I can get their trial because I signed up.
Well, if you use someone else's information, like a roommate or something. Come on, like, there's ways. It's just to watch the game or go to someone's house if you want to do it old school.
Well, like, do you think it would be inappropriate if I went on the air during our show and just started begging people for their cable logins?
I mean, you can change it right after. He's not going to hijack your account.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll get in and you give me your info and I'll change your password, and that way I'll always have access to it.
You'll never get back in because he's got it. You're like a squatter.
Yeah, I had a friend. I had a friend of mine who did that with mine for ESPN. Like he was always on ESPN, and when I canceled cable, I think it killed him.
Because of him just using that. Did you talk it over with him so he knew it was coming?
No, I didn't, and I think. We never, like, really talked about it. But I felt like there was a moment that passed between us. And it was just like, what did you...
Well, we're done now. We can break up. Because we broke up with cable.
Our friendship was mostly based on you just paying for that?
You can do this. You can grab somebody's login for Saturday.
Okay.
You can go eat at a restaurant that's going to be playing it.
I'm not doing that.
You can go to a friend's house who has it, even if they're not at home, and just watch it.
I don't even have those friends.
You can sign up for just a service to use for that day.
For like
a trial period.
Your week trial thing seems like a viable option.
I think so too. So you got some things, or you can just not watch the game.
Okay. Wait, what?
I wonder when you would get that one.
Wait.
You can just
Did you go back on the last one?
Not watch the game.
I mean, in fairness, it is Ohio State playing Rutgers.
Well, you could see some highlights somewhere else.
It might as well be playing a high school team.
So Tom was asking, is that not on your regular?
No, you know what? Okay, here's what I did. For football every year, I usually do cable for a little while. And what I ended up doing was DirecTV now suckered me in. They had a deal where you paid 3 months in advance, which I did, and you got a free, quote unquote, free Apple TV 4K.
Yeah.
Which those are like anywhere from $180 to $200. And for 3 months of DirecTV now, when they were doing their deal, and I feel like I just tripped into a commercial.
Woo! Right on in.
It cost me $110.
Yeah, no, so you signed up there.
So it gives me access to basically everything ESPN, but I had to pay for tier 2 if I wanted the Big Ten Network, and I don't care enough.
Hey, you just upgrade it for that day, or does it work that way?
No, if I do that, then the pricing level I got before, it'll jack it all back up again.
Chris texted, said Hulu has a 7-day trial. Does Hulu have Big Ten? You can sign. He's already been a Hulu person.
Yeah, but you want to hear something great?
What?
I just got another free month of Hulu.
So do they have Big Ten?
Well, it's not Hulu TV. It's
it's the other Hulu.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've provided options for you.
Yeah. Well,
There's
I think here's what I want is I would like someone to, if you guys could throw a party for the game, invite me over, provide snacks, but like if
Not
you guys
make it uncomfortable.
I normally I like to watch the game in some comfy clothes. I need a nice place to sit.
Like he's not going to come and be the show Obadiah that you're used to. Like he can't entertain.
Well,
He's
you
supposed to
might-
watch the game.
And you might consider just letting me borrow your house. Like you leave and I'll come in and watch it. Is that weird?
Oh, I haven't seen anybody come in and offer that yet.
It's weird. I'm sure the phone will start anytime.
Wish the worst of the riot would never end?
Everything that has a beginning has an end.
What is wrong with you? Get our daily podcast through iTunes, Google Play, or the RadioU app.
So, Nikki, you had a brief love affair, which is to say that you bought an iPad Pro,
I did, yeah, I had one.
but
And I had the Apple Pen with it.
it fizzled.
Well, it was too much. Like my purse really had the back problems. It's like I couldn't carry that thing every day.
I wear a brace now, but it's cool.
It's totally fine. I have that, and then I have a smaller iPad. It's not I don't think it's a mini. I forget which one it is.
Well, Nikki, there's only 3 sizes of iPad.
I think it's the middle.
There's
It's the normal one.
There's the mini.
It's the
there's
normal one.
the 9.7 inch, and then
I've
the
had a mini
12.1
too.
inch.
I've had a mini back in the day. I've had a lot. I mean, we've had many, many years of the iPads.
Nikki has many man friends. It's difficult.
Many iPads,
difficult
it's
to
fine.
remember all the different iPads she's been in love with across the years.
I mean, it's hard to remember everybody you've dated, isn't it? But for the iPads, the iPad Pro was just so much for what I was using it for.
Mm-hmm.
It made me really start that want of my phone. I want my phone as big as possible, like everything all in one.
Okay, well, check this out. Logitech, I did not know this, but apparently they have a cheap but popular alternative to the Apple Pen called the Logitech Crayon.
Mm-hmm.
And that crayon up until now has only been available in schools. Now, it looks almost exactly like an Apple Pen, except it's
What's the price, though?
$50.
$70?
Okay, $70 is what you, the civilian, will pay.
Starting September 12th.
It was $50 if you were a student. Well, and you, quite frankly, if you're a student, you may still be able to get a $50 price for one. But this is interesting. It works in a lot of the similar ways, not all the same ways, but a lot of the same ways that the Apple Pen does. But you can just use it on your straight up regular iPad.
Nice.
So if you've got an iPad or an iPad mini and you would like some of that functionality without the size or price tag
Of that.
it
So
sounds
just
like
a stylus.
yeah.
Oh, we can all
Can we get
use
somebody
that.
from corporate in here right now?
We can all use those little things on any of our iPads and phones. I mean, that's nothing new. It's just a stylus.
You know what? Let's peel back the curtain for a minute. Do you want to know something? It's probably been like 2 years ago. We did a feature on Riot Control for Logitech's gaming headphones.
Mm-hmm.
They sent us a pair of gaming headphones, and they're wonderful. The wireless ones I don't like as much as the wired ones because frequencies, I don't know, whatever. But they're really nice. But one of the things they did, I had to sit through, I had to have a Skype call with them to talk about them.
To learn about it?
Yeah. And I'll just tell you right now, if you're going to say it's just a stylus, you'd never make it through a phone call like that.
And it is.
You'd never make it through a phone call
With
like that.
Logitech? Well, okay, the Apple Pencil was nice, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
And then you go all the other way and you buy a cheap stylus from like Amazon, and it could be 99 cents, and it's so round, like it's not a sharp point to it. So for this $70 though, they're saying that's still steep for this.
Nikki, an unnamed texter has stepped to the forefront and says the Logi Crayon is iPad 6th gen only.
See, we haven't sat through the Logitech thing.
Well, it's interesting. I read 2 things about it. It looked to me as if it was going to work with everything, but I don't know. I guess what we're really saying now is you better do some research before you buy it.
Apple assumes that you have everything that generation-wise because
Wow.
they don't think that you're behind.
I'll tell you what I do. Every time I get a and like a new iPad comes out, I just throw the old one away. I don't sell it because it is trash at that point. Mm-hmm. It is just trash.
You're right.
It's a good call.
What do you say? Hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
And that's if the battery thing, so it can actually get warm.
So
thanks for sharing that.
Thank you everybody for being a part of the discussion.
It just shows you, though, you're like, you could literally pay so much money or, like, nothing for the same variation of so much stuff.
It's ridiculous.
The Riot.
All right, pace yourself because you're going to have to do this all day for very little money.
Radio U.
Nikki, what did you do for back to school's cosmetic surgery this time around?
Oh, what work did I have done?
Yeah.
Sadly, none this season. I know, you just try to cut back, right? Did I tell you I was at the Apple store? Okay. And
we're back on Apple. Here we go.
We're back on Apple. No, for like cosmetic surgery and stuff, I was at the Apple store. I cracked the face of my Apple Watch, so I was there turning it in to get it fixed. And there were these two ladies next to me. We're just all waiting at the table. And I could tell that there was like a mom and a daughter. It was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But the guy, you know how they're trying to be all nice with everybody.
Is this your sister?
That's what he did, and the mom and daughter ate it up totally. And he was so playing it up, and I'm sitting here like, well, but she had her lips really done. She had a lot of work done on her face, and I just was like, don't look, just don't say anything. It's fine. Just let them have their good time with this. But I thought, you've had some work with those lips.
No, you should have leaned over and been like, listen, honey.
He's just feeding you a line.
I don't know who I should be rolling my eyes at harder right now, him or you.
Or whatever's going on. So, no, I have not had any procedures done for this school year. Is that a popular thing to do now to get some work done?
Back to school surgery?
Little tune-up before you start the school year?
Man, every time I stop into the plastic surgery, and especially this time of year, you always know that you're headed into July when it's they start their 2-for-1 specials and stuff.
Well, I would think it'd be more back going into the summertime you'd get work done because then, your summer. Well, yeah. Are your bathing suit ready?
No. Because a lot of times it's not. But see, Nick, you're talking about summer ready. That's a different sale.
So what are we supposed to do in the fall?
Back to school ready is the big one. They say that the number one most popular back to school plastic surgery. No.
Does Botox count as plastic surgery?
Does it?
Or is it just fillers?
They're just, and what is that? They take hot dogs and shoot it into your lips? Because isn't that what hot dogs are made from? Fillers? Is that what it is?
It's a different one. It's different.
They take it.
It's other fillers.
They take your butt and shoot it into your. No, that's a different one too.
That's not it. I don't know. Where it comes from. Again, haven't done that.
Okay.
We're getting off track.
I'm going to have to ask where it's from.
You're going to have to ask?
Yeah.
I think it's just a chemical.
Okay.
Maybe mostly water. Maybe it's mostly water.
So you're putting all this freaking work into organic, range-free, farm fresh, and then you're like, whatever chemicals you have, just shoot them in here.
Just make it bigger. So what are they saying then? You get your nose done?
Yeah, rhinoplasty. That's the big one.
The nose.
Everybody's like, get a nose job.
Well, some of that can still legitimately be if you don't breathe right.
Wait, no. I'm the one that had the not breathe right thing. That's the septoplasty, not the rhinoplasty.
Well, no, sometimes while they're there, they just roll it all into one.
I will tell you, that was the weirdest thing. Laying down on the table, and they're just like, we're going to break your nose. So, here.
So sit still.
Take this. I think it'll put you to sleep.
Oh, gosh.
I don't even want to know how they did it. Just don't tell me. I know that they put you on a table and then they flip you your head down so they can look straight down your nose. Yeah. And I'm like, just get me out. Give me the drugs, doc.
And nose surgery, that's a hard, it's plastic surgery, but that's a hard one to come back from.
It's something. So, I just took a lot of drugs and watched 30 Rock.
That was how you coped with it?
Yeah, I didn't eat a lot either.
You were back to school ready, though, and you didn't even know it when you had your nose surgery.
Hey, man, no regrets. My septoplasty, you just wouldn't believe how much better I breathe now than I used to.
You know how young you look? We could be sister-brother.
Wait, is she your sister?
No, that's not your mom. That's your sister.
Well, it's better than the time Nikki and I went to the Apple bar, and they were like, is this your mom?
To you. Not to me, to you.
No, this is my co-host.
It's fine. It's fine.
No big deal. You know what? It's the fillers.
I don't know
It makes me look like a spring chicken.
Like insurance doesn't pay for, like our medical wouldn't pay for plastic surgery. So how you making enough money for that stuff?
Nikki, I hate to break it to you. There are people that make money.
And that's what you're spending it on?
Nikki, okay. You're a sweet kid. Sit down. Let's have a little chat. You work for a nonprofit.
I know. I don't make plastic surgery money.
That means that when I told you that you were getting fillers, it was a hot dog comment, okay? That's what I was actually talking to you about. That's all I could afford
from the doctor.
Like, you got excited. Nikki gets excited about fillers, and I'm like, all right, here we go.
You know when you get the pack of hot dogs, and it's like
Oscar Mayer.
Is that water liquid that's in the packet left over? They just put that right on in.
Oh, it's extra salt. It's good for you.
Okay. Well, that's back to school. If you did not know, this is the time, apparently, to get your nose done. Or it would have been time to get your nose done.
Well, you show up a little late. If anybody says anything, you're like, my brother hit me in the nose. It's not my fault.
The Riot with Obadiah.
Oh, loneliness and cheeseburgers are a dangerous mix.
The Riot with Nikki.
Shut up.
Oh, don't tell me to shut up!
The Riot on RadioU.
I'm trying to remember if it was like a kid's story. If I saw the cartoon, could be both. Remember, like the lion is really, really mean, but it's because he has a little thorn in his paw.
Yeah, I remember that. But what was that?
I don't know. And it's like if somebody would just take the thorn out of his paw, then he wouldn't be so mean. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking about today for me. You know what? I got some stuff going on in my life right now that just irritates me. Like, I'm irritated about it. I'm stressed out.
He's pointing a lot. He's very agitated.
A lot of yelling.
Lots of movement.
Waving hands and stuff. And, how many times, and I know I do this in my life, but come on, I can't be the only one, right? Where you say to yourself, like, now, that shouldn't be such a big deal. So we're just going to pretend it's fine. I'll just pretend like it's not a big deal and just keep doing my thing. It's no big deal. And the whole time you're like, I am a lion, and my paw hurts.
Your paw hurts because it is a big deal.
Because it's a big deal to you. Now, I might tell Nikki in our daily counseling session, like, hey, here's what's bothering me. And she's like, man up, it's easy. Come to me when you have a real problem. But the reality of it is that Nikki and I have different strengths.
Mm-hmm.
And so there might be things that really bother me. And Nikki would be like, please, get a life.
Everybody's different.
But Nikki would have something that comes along and bothers her. And I would be like, oh, my gosh, don't be such a baby. At the end of the day, if something bothers you, it just bothers you. It doesn't matter what other people think about it. It doesn't matter if it's a big deal to them. What matters is that it's a big deal to you. What matters is that your paw hurts and you need help getting it out of your paw. Look, you can continue to wander about your day seeking whom you might devour because, hey, you're a lion, am I right? So powerful. Huge jaws, lots of noise. Or you can stop for a minute and go, man, look at that. This thing is killing me. I need somebody to pull out this thing. That's what you got to do, man. You got to stop. You got to take a minute. You got to recognize that whatever the heck it is, whether it's dumb to other people or not, it's bothering you and it needs dealt with.
There's important then.
It's important to you. And guess what? When something's important to somebody and you love them, it becomes important to you. And that's where God's at. You think that you're going to go, hey, God, I need help with this thing. And he's going to be like me or Nikki. You're like, oh, come on. Would you just grow up already and deal with your problems? Always running to me and blah, 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 and I'm so upset. That's not who God is. Jesus loves you and knows you. And he knows the stuff that is really working on you. And he also he doesn't want to condescend. He doesn't want to talk down to you. He doesn't want to be ugly about it. He wants to love you and help pull that stuff out and help you deal with it. And you know what? You might have to ask him a couple of times. Because he can't deliver? No, because if you're like me, I'm like, hey, God, can you help me with this? He's like, there, I helped you. And then an hour later, I'm like, no! And God's like, hey, we'll just do it again. So look, if you don't have a relationship with God, you don't have to face today alone. You don't have to walk around with that thing in your paw, biting everybody and screaming and yelling. You can invite Jesus in and ask him for help. And you don't have to wait. You can ask right now. Say, Jesus, I need that. I need you to come into my life. I need you to fill me with your spirit. I'm hurting, and here's what's hurting me. Would you help me with it? It's that easy. It really is that simple. You can ask God for help with anything.
This was the worst of the riots, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The Riot exists because Radio U exists, and Radio U only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
I don't know why it's sticky. I don't want to know why it's sticky. I just don't want to touch it anymore.